My name is Andrea Beca, and I'm a filmmaker and the founder of Solidarity Film Camp.
Solidarity Film Camp is a film camp that is aimed at empowering marginalized youth with the kind of skills and confidence to tell their own stories and change the world through the medium of film. Being a queer woman in film has always been a really big challenge for me. I faced a lot of pushback in the film industry. Getting that type of pushback really kind of fueled the fire for me in terms of saying, okay, I'm gonna do everything that I can to really just try to push for better representation in the film industry. So my hope has been to create that ripple effect and really kind of, change representation in film starting locally in Edmonton.
أنا اسمي عبود سلمان، فنان تشكيلي وناقد. أنا أهتم بالشعبيات، يعني الشعبيات المحلية، يعني اللي لها علاقة بواقع تراث بلدي، يعني اللي هي المنطقة اللي أنا ولدت فيها، منطقة الميادين شرق دير الزور في شرق سوريا بالقرب من العراق. فهاي المدينة غنية بالحضارات القديمة الرافدية، يعني حضارة سومر وبابل وأكاد، وهاي الحضارات القديمة يعني هي اللي أفرزت الحضارات الحديثة ككل يعني. فمن هاي الأساطير والقصص والحكاية أحاول أنا أخذ صيغ جديدة للوحاتي اللي أنا أرسمها بحس شعبي، يعني يدخل بالمنامات، يدخل بالفن الإسلامي الشرقي، العلاقة بالفن الإيقوني، يعني بهذا الشكل يعني.
I'm Luciana Erreque-Sacchi and I am a poet. I like writing about different aspects of living in Edmonton. But at the same time being from somewhere else. So I like writing about being with two brains in the same head, basically.
Mothers and daughters engaged in sky talk, hablando al cielo.
I write poetry, but I also work with other writers, and I love curating anthologies. My anthology is going to be Beyond the Food Court, the literary cuisines of Edmonton. By that, what do we mean? Is that we have a lot of diversity in our food courts, but there is yet more diversity behind each of the stories of the people that consume the food in the food courts.
And the bright blue river of available pigments.
I just like showcasing the specificity and the universality as well of the lived experience.
I'm Gomanthi Boorada, and I'm a Kuchipudi dancer. Kuchipudi is one of the 8 classical dances from India, and it gets its name from the village Kuchipudi. The production that I'm working on right now is Shiva Manohari, the enchanting story of the love of Shiva and his wedding with Parvati. It's a mythological story about how Shiva fell in love with Parvati, how he married her. The unique thing about Kuchipudi is it's a storytelling format of dance. That's how the heritage and the tradition is kind of sent from one generation to another. Edmonton is a place where you have everybody come from different places, but all of them are working together. That's the best part of Edmonton.
My name is Jeong Ung Song, and I'm a theater director. There's that story about the pilgrim who braved the woods to fight the devil, and then upon meeting the devil, was surprised to know they wore the same face. A lot of my stories have a relationship, explores the relationship between two different people and how they're affected by force that's bigger than themselves. Like that story about the hunters who destroyed the forest to protect their women and children against the tigers, and when they were done, discovered they themselves were the tigers. Self-identity, I think, is very important. What makes me a Korean Canadian? Am I more Korean or am I more Canadian, or does that not matter? Sometimes those questions do get answered, and sometimes I'm left with more questions than answers, but it's always fulfilling.
My name is Danielle LaRose, and I'm a theater practitioner, actor, director, and music composer. My passion is storytelling, because I think we crave stories in any form. Shakespeare's Troilus and Cressida is a reimagining of Homer's Iliad. The reason that I chose it for this project, which is an all-female company, and building an all-female classical, is because it shows the extremes of who we are as a human race. I want there to be women in my audience who go, Achilles is a boss. I want to be like him, or I see myself in him, being able to recognize the humanity rather than the gender first.
Hi, I am Christian Perez-Gibaut, and I am a visual artist. What influences my art is having been exposed to different cultures, many different people coming from different backgrounds. I work with layers. Many times it's like the same drawing, but I do it again, and maybe a week after I do it again over, and I obliterate what I had and I go over that, because you travel, you move, you're in a different place. But you're also yourself. You change, but there's something inside you that hasn't changed. I think for anyone that is going through, leaving your hometown, your family there, and starting a new life, it's exciting. There's a lot of happiness, like really good moments, but there's also a lot of pain, a lot of fear, uncertainty. I think that's something I want to explore.
Hi, my name is Paul Giang, and I'm a calligraphy artist. So my project is called Free and Easy Wandering. It's a performative and visual art series in partnership with Mile Zero Dance. One of the motivations of this theme, so it's asking artists to reflect on how do they navigate their freedoms as it relates to their identities. A lot of these artists, they identify with Asian heritage. It is going beyond that dichotomy of this is East versus West. I think I'm obviously a mix of those two. And I think we have to kind of recognize and celebrate those aspects rather than saying that they're irreconcilable.
My name is Shima Robinson, and I'm a spoken word poet. First things first, I really, really appreciate literacy. Literacy is a passion of mine. I teach literacy as a day job sometimes.
My proud heaving chest, my eyes.
We have language. It's one of the things that distinguishes us from the rest of the living things on the planet. And so when we use it, it becomes beauty, it becomes poetry.
Screams built into the dreams of every immigrant queen.
The Bellow project is about bellowing something vital about the fact of my existence in Edmonton. So bellowing as in to yell, to scream, or to holler real loud. The Bellow project is a collaborative project with poetry, spoken word poetry provided by myself, and improvisational music provided by Damn Magpies, the musical collective. It's basically me bellowing the truth of myself.
I'm Zsofia Opra Szabo. I'm a theater designer, a filmmaker, and a fine artist. I'm a puppeteer, and I really love puppets. I love work with puppets. I like this three-dimensional objects. I really like touch the materials and create. Right now, I'm working on a stop-motion animation. The title is Tango Through Life. Hopefully, it will be a 5-7 minutes long stop-motion animation. So as a fine artist, I figured out something and then use my hands to create them, and I put myself into my characters.
I'm Frankie Fingerling. And I'm Narcissa Nightingale. Our project is called Race Against the Machine. It's a showcase of performance art with an all-queer racialized cast. We hope that it's a source of empowerment, a source of solidarity,
representation.
Representation in the arts, and showing that you do have a place to belong in this community and on the stage. Say your music lasts for 4 minutes, those 4 minutes are yours and yours alone. And it's for you to put whatever you want on the stage and have people watch and listen to you.
We would like to do it annually, or potentially get into doing some smaller shows with the same sort of focus.
I'm Althea Cunningham. I'm Interarts practitioner. I got the grant for a new play that I'm developing called Sun-Kissed to Death. So the big themes in the show are lesbian relationships, interracial lesbian relationships, and the prospect of raising a family. It's actually stuff that's sort of been in my soul, burning kind of in my soul for a long time that I needed to get out on paper, right? And then as soon as I started writing it, I was like, oh, right, I'm gonna need to expand this piece. I think for me, the message that I'd like the audience to leave with is that love transcends through all our realities. You don't choose who you're gonna get up and love in the morning.
My name is Amena Shehab. I am a playwright and an actress. I want to live here. I write and act. And the grant I get for writing one full-length play, it's after Trojan Women. The play and the story, which come from that the Troy War fall. What does it matter? 3,000 years ago, women were suffering and taken as a hostage. And they take as a slave to Greece. And after 3,000 years, we still have the same problem. Syrian women are fleeing from the same shore. I think as an artist, I believe the stories should be heard. If we put more effort and money and time in art, maybe we'll produce less weapons.